G'day, John here. Welcome to my shop. We're going to turn a oak bowl today. There's quite a few knots in this blank as well, so I'm going to give it a go. Going to whack on the faceplate, turn aside, get a foot, 150mm foot on the other side, and yeah, again, I'm going to give it a go, see how it all comes out. Got to say, it's a pretty heavy piece, as we can see here. You can notice the cracks filled with CO glue there. It's around about 4 inches thick, and as I say, there's the knot which I shall deal with as we go. I don't know how it's going to turn out or what sort of bowl we're going to be doing here, but going to give it a go. So without further ado, no more chat from me, as I say, and we'll slide it on the lathe. Yep. Cheers. Just mounting the faceplate onto the bowl blank, self-tapping screws. There's several places in this video where it's sped up just to avoid the boredom. Using the Hercules, so a carbide cup scraper. That's my go-to tool in terms of hogging out most of the material. Works well. It's the 5/8 bowl gouge, just getting a close to finishing pass on the rear of the bowl, and you'll see in a moment getting the foot cut in. So this footage is 4 times normal speed, so we can get some ground cover. This came up to an area now where it just goes to normal speed. Just showing where I use a small point scraper, diamond scraper, to chamfer that foot so that the chuck has contact with the wood inside the indent. The wood is very, very hard. You'll see the bowl gouge slips and slides often. Chuck's going on now, so it's going to be pressure mounted into the recess with the foot. I'm using the one-way bowl corer. Works really well. Depending on how far the corer is mounted away from the bowl face is how deep the bowl blank that's produced becomes. It was only taking out, I think, a 6-inch core by 2-inch thick. It saves a lot of hogging out of material, even if the small bowl blank is not used. It works really well, even on this hard material that's being turned on the lathe. I have 2" by 6", very small bowl blank. Back in with Hercules on the outside. Get a shape for the bowl. Never really know what shape I start with. Depends on how the wood goes. And I knew there was a knot that had to be turned out here. As it turned out, the knot went straight through the centre of the bowl blank, so it still remains. Used CA glue to make sure that was stabilised. You can see here with a 4-way camera system, different angles to see how that bowl's formed. In a moment you'll see the Hercules being used just to hollow that bowl out. Took quite a bit of time, probably over a couple of hours to hollow it out. It was very hard, sharpening tools every 5 minutes or so. I have to say the CA glue is just a great invention. I mean, there's that many bore holes and bug holes in this bowl blank. You know, if you use a CA glue, it just stabilises those holes, and often use the thin CA glue and use the sawdust to mix with it. Makes quite a good wood filler. So starting at 80 grit on the sandpaper, through to 150, 180, 240, and finally up to 320. I did use a sand sealer after 120 grit, and then back down to 80 again, and went through all the grits up to 320. It really did need that sanding sealer. There was a lot of voids and cracks and holes, and it works well. Certainly not going to bore you with all this. The sanding's now finished. You can see it's gone up to, I'm just putting sanding sealer at 80 grit, and then onto the final grits. Axe abrasive paste, really good. So I use Axe abrasive, and then Axe polish, and then Hampshire sheen polish. So one on top of the other. Gives it a nice luster. If I wanted the gloss, I would probably go in with the friction polish as a last. But as I say, the fastest I can spin this bowl out with the imbalance of the piece, 600 RPM is about the maximum, and friction polish you need to get up to 1100, 1300 RPM for it to heat up and set. So I stopped at using Hampshire sheen, gave it a luster, and it worked out well in the end. So what's just going on to the lathe now is a 23-inch circular 2 by 3/4 inch plywood friction chuck, I suppose. It's neoprene rubber glued to the plywood, and then the tailstock takes up, pushes the piece against the rubber. It doesn't even move, and you can get it centrally located so that when it's turning, it'll just hold fast. Amazing thing here is that I could get this whole combination going up to around 800 or 900 RPM, so the weight of the plywood counteracted the weight of the piece itself, so there was no lathe wobble once I started to use this combination. But anyway, this whole effort here is to take the back of the bowl and smooth out the foot so that it looks a lot more aesthetically pleasing. So at this stage I'm going to use a texturing tool. It's ball bearinged and it's turned almost flat, so it gives quite a nice large pattern for a large bowl. So, and then I use a diamond pointed scraper to highlight the pattern on the inside and outside. You can't see the pattern very much in this video. When it gets the axe polish on it and finished off, it does see, you can see it a lot better. There's still shots at the end of this video, you'll be able to see it as it comes out. So the pattern came out pretty good. That was 2 passes. It may have needed a third one, but you've got to be careful using the texturing tool, because you just offset it a little bit and it kind of messes up those lines. So a little's plenty. You go overboard and it can mess up, and you've got to return the bowl and start again. I use a brass brush to clean up the grooves. You don't see it in the video here, but off camera, just use that to clear out those gouges. Just it's a nice finish, you know, when somebody has a bowl, they can turn it over the other side and they're surprised with a nice looking pattern at the bottom. It's always good. Well, I've got to say, the bowl came off pretty good. As you can see, well, I hope you can see in the light that's in this video at the moment. That's the inside. The outside grain just looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's really come up well. The foot came up too. Yeah, I mean, it was a funny turn. I mean, basically, still, this side of the bowl is heavier than this. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I guess one side of the bowl dried out significantly more than the other, and you know, it put it off balance. So the maximum revs in turning this bowl was around about 500. Any more than that, it was really wobbling. It's a big one. You can see, hopefully, some of the pattern on the bottom of the bowl there. Yeah, so it came out good. It's really hot in the shed at the moment. The workshop's going to have to be closed down. We're talking about 90 degrees here and humid. So that's it for me. I'll try and get some stills at the end of the video here. And yeah, oak bowl. Cheers guys, see you next time.